Welcome to Crafting on the Plains. My name is Jacinta, and this is my channel mostly about count and cross stitch, but also occasionally about sewing, quilting, knitting, other crafty endeavors that I happen to get up to. Today is going to be exclusively about counted cross stitch though. I am just going to jump right into it. First, I did want to say thank you so much to all of my viewers, whether you be new viewers or returning viewers. I really appreciate all of you that take the time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with me and just see what I am working on. I love being part of the cross stitch community. It is so much fun to get to chat with you all, meet. I met a lot of viewers and other people at the at the Midsummer Stitch this past weekend, and I just had a blast. So yes, I just love being part of this community. So thank you so much, all of you who are joining me. I did want to make a little bit of an ask. So I realized that I'm about, so first off, this is my second year Flossversary. So I'm very excited. Thank you, all of you who have been on this journey with me. So yeah, it's been 2 years on Flosstube. I cannot believe it. I started this channel right before my daughter started pre-K, and yeah, it's just been crazy. So I wanted to do a little bit of ask. So I'm about 30 subscribers away from 1,500. And even though I think everybody kind of says this, and I do really believe it's true, that on Flosstube, almost everybody, even people who are monetized, are not in it for the money, because this is not like a lucrative. Very few Flosstubers, I think, are trying to be like full-time content creators. I have 2 jobs and I am very happy at them. But I do love this community. I love growing my community here. And it is really nice to like get to that like milestone round number. So if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing that, because yeah, I would love to make it to that 1,500 number. So, all right, I'm going to just jump in with the new, or not new starts. I have FFOs. I have got FFOs for you guys. So these are, if you watch my last video, I showed you that I was going to be doing a little bit of a different FFO challenge than I had planned. I'm going to show finishes, prior finishes that I have done on every episode, and then I'm going to challenge myself to fully finish them before the next episode, rather than doing like one giant parade and then doing a big finish parade later. So I did do both of the projects that I had planned, and they're both framed. So this one is Light a Single Candle by, and it is got some glare. Okay. Light a Single Candle by, you can see my laptop, Light a Single Candle by Modern Folk Embroidery. And there it is. So I just framed it in a simple Amazon frame. I wanted it to be really, really simple, and yeah, just let the piece shine. And I stitched this on a 36 count Witching Hour by Under the Sea and I used Sulky White for that. So very excited. I also used a new to me technique. So this, and then the one I'm about to show you, are not laced, they are pinned. I have only ever laced my cross stitch pieces. Some of my flat finishes I have hot glued. I know that's bad, but I do hot glue some of them. And then of course I made pillows and things, but for my frame pieces, I have always exclusively laced them. And this is the one right here. Also gonna have some glare. This is Christmas Bell Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. And I did my own color and cotton conversion. I think I have it up on my Instagram, but if anyone's interested in this color and cotton conversion, please let me know. It's different than the like official color and cotton conversion that they have on their website now. But I was really intimidated to lace a piece this size. Maybe I will do it someday, but as I was kind of just like looking at it, playing around, I realized I thought I could pin it, and I actually pinned it. This is probably like cheating, but I pinned it. I need to cover the back. I pinned it to the actual cardboard that came with the frame. So this is obviously Art to Frames. I got this off Amazon. I do think they have their own website, but it's like you can kind of, I think on their website, maybe you can custom order. This one, they had a bunch of sizes and then you could pick like what frame. So I chose this really beautiful, it's like a silver frame. It's wood. It's actually real wood, which I love. This is probably the most expensive. I think this frame was like $40 something. And this is the most expensive frame I've ever purchased for a piece, but I felt like this one deserved it. I have had some things professionally framed from Michaels that were, of course, more expensive. But for my own framing purposes, this is the most expensive frame I've ever bought. And still, for $40 something, could not have got this framed at Michaels. So it's got, I wanted it to be kind of decorative. So there it is. And then I realized that I could pin it to the cardboard. Now, this is not, I would not usually do this because, as you know, if you're familiar with cardboard, it's corrugated. So one of the sides you can easily stick pins in and they will stay. The other side has like holes. So I kind of had to like angle my pins a little bit to get them to catch like the corrugated ribbing through the cardboard. But it worked out really well. And then once I put it in the frame, it was very secure. But that made me feel better about doing it rather than trying to lace it because I was a little bit worried about this. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. I also have a finish. So I'm going to show you that. That is Bobbin by Stacy Nash. I think I had Bobbin herself finished last time. So that's Bobbin right there. And then she also has a little berry basket. And so I finished Bobbin already, and then I think I either hadn't started or I was about to start the berry basket, or I had just started the berry basket. So I finished. So there's Bobbin. And I did a full conversion myself. So my Bobbin is quite a bit darker than the original Bobbin, but I still think she's really cute. So if you're interested in my conversion, just let me know. I'm happy to send it to you. And then this is the berry basket. I think it turned out so cute, and I am going to be finishing her, putting her on a bobbin like Stacy Nash has her finished, and then I'm going to finish the little berry basket somehow as well. So I would love to get this one done by next week because I'm really, really excited about having Bobbin finished, and I want to start another animal cracker very soon. But I have a dowel that will fit in. I have the bobbin already, and I have a dowel that will fit in there to put Bobbin, to kind of like attach Bobbin to the bobbin. But I'm gonna have to see if I have something that I can cut it with or what I need to do. So it's gonna be a little bit more complex of finish. I may need to get some additional supplies. I'm not really sure. So I want to have this one done soon, but I'm not promising it'll be done by next week. Okay. And then I finished the berry basket. I stitched the berry basket mostly at midsummer stitch. Okay, the next project I have is a new start. This was a midsummer stitch new start, and this is Twilight Moon by Tiny Modernist. It was one of the new, it was one of the Cross Stitch the Rainbow or X Stitch the Rainbow Night Garden releases. So a lot of designers all designed from one floss palette, and it's like a small design. So this was the one that I saw that made me say, okay, I've got to get that floss pack because I want to stitch it. And so hopefully have already or will post a picture somewhere of it, but this is what mine is looking like. And I am so excited about this for a couple different reasons. One is that it's just so cute and pretty. And then here's actually the flosses. I put them on these floss drops that I got from a D's 20 Stitches retreat a few years ago, a virtual retreat. And there was 4 of them. And so it worked out perfectly. But these are the ThreadWorks flosses. This is the floss pack. I don't think this is available anymore. You may be able to get the individual colors from ThreadWorks, but I don't think that this floss pack is available anymore. And you got, I'm assuming this is standard for ThreadWorks. I've never ordered from them before, but there's a lot of floss on here. I mean, I was impressed because I was a little bit worried. I was like, how many of these am I going to be able to make with the floss pack? And easily I can get a few. This one I'm stitching on 40 count, and I've never stitched on 40 count before. This is my first time. Probably stitching on 40 count at a virtual retreat was not the way to do it, the way to start it, but it's what I did. And with my glasses, my like 1.25 magnifying glasses, I'm able to see it fine. It's a little bit tricky like when I first get started, but then I can go. So yeah, I'm doing 1/2 on 40 count. I will say this pattern has a lot of customizations as far as some of the placement of the flowers and some of the placement of things, just because yeah, there's some stuff that didn't, I was like 1 or 2 stitches off, and I don't know if it was the 40 count or if it's just the fact that I was chatting while I was stitching, like I don't know. But this was probably not the best pattern to do like at a retreat either, because a lot of just counting, because I got it ready to do fill-in basically like on Sunday night, so that was not helpful for me, but I'm still really happy with it. I think it looks okay. You probably would not be able to tell that there was any differences unless you were like holding it up and comparing it to the original pattern. But yeah, so I'm really happy with it. I probably could have placed this better. I really underestimated how small things stitch up on 40 count, because obviously I've got like a ton of excess fabric, but I really didn't know. I mean, I could have done the math, but even then it's hard to visualize like how small that really is. At least it is for me. So, yeah, but it's okay. This, I don't know what this fabric is. It was a gift from somebody. And so I don't know the details of it, but it is a 40 count hand dyed, and I found it in my stash, and I had been looking for a good something to stitch on it anyway. And I thought this is perfect because it is very close to whatever the called for is. So I love it. And this was sort of the perfect aesthetic to work on during the midsummer stitch as well. So I'm very happy with it. And yeah, so this, I am hoping, I have a few little bits to do up in here. I need to do some more stems and things, but mostly it's fill-in and then some back stitch. So I will hopefully have this done soonish. I would like to not have this be a lingering project because I want to get it done and put it up in my house. So that's my new start. I have got whips, and I will show you my 2 Christmas in July whips first. So the first one is one that you have not seen in a very long time, unless you have been, if you saw my whip parade, you saw this. But this is Cardinal Kin by Plum Street Samplers, and I absolutely adore these little animal trios. And this one is so cute. So I am stitching kind of my own conversion, kind of a blend between the two. So there's this one, which is like the original colors, and then you're also provided the colorway information for this one. So it's a little bit different. I sort of did a mix of the two, and then I also subbed in some of my own stuff. So again, if you're interested in my conversion, please let me know. This one is not, I think there might be some colors that I haven't stitched yet, and so it may not be perfect. I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count. What is it? It's Fiber on a Whim, Milk and Honey. And it's obviously like a little scrap bit, which is perfect for these. I'm stitching it 2/1 because I do like that on 36 count. And I had to do a lot of frogging. So when I put this down, I started this last December and immediately made several horrendous counting errors. This leaf right here was like down here, and I think maybe this leaf, I don't know. It was a mess. So I had to, when I pulled this out for Christmas in July, basically I had to frog a bunch of stuff. So I think the first day or two that I worked on this, all I did was frogging things, and then I started to restitch. So I have gotten this entire leaf restitched. I think I only had to frog maybe a little bit of this leaf. I'm not really sure. Got this entire leaf restitched. I stitched some snowflakes. started adding the little berries, and then I had to frog some berries because I had stitched them off of this leaf. And then I also outlined this cardinal and started filling the daddy cardinal in. So yeah, I really, really like it. I'm happy with my colors. I was pretty worried at first that the white was not going to show up on this, but I think it's showing up just enough. I think you can see it on camera and you can see it in real life as well. So I think it's okay. I do really love these snowflakes because they have a backstitch kind of center element to them. I actually don't know if you can see that on camera, but they look really unique. I'm going to see if you can see it a little bit. So I think they're really interesting. So I worked on this for a few days, got myself back to a reasonable place where I wasn't gonna have to immediately frog as soon as I pulled it out. And I probably won't work on this again until I get closer to Christmas time. I'm trying to touch all of my existing Christmas whips at least for a few days during Christmas in July. But I think I mentioned in my last video that I have not been as into Christmas in July as I have been prior years. So I'm really just trying to pull things out and do a little bit on them. Just that way they're not getting neglected the whole year through. But I'm not stressing about getting a bunch of Christmas in July finishes or starts. My next whip is also Christmas in July piece. This is when I started this year with my friend Sally from Flossy Sews and Grows. And I'm doing Wee Santa from Heart in Hand. There's my cat. You can probably hear her. I am so excited to see the 2025 one. I don't think it's been dropped yet, but I'm so excited to see what it will look like. And this one has been my pool stitching. So when my daughter has swim classes, this is what I stitch on. So I got another week's worth of pool stitching on this, and I did not work on it all this weekend. So here's where I am. I finished filling in the jacket. I do need to do the middle part of the jacket, and then I filled in most of his face, and then I got started on these flowers because I just could not wait on the flowers any longer. And so there he is. I think this one I actually would like to work on maybe a little bit more this year. I can't promise anything, but I think that this one is very cute, very satisfying. And this might make a good project to kind of just like take if I'm like, I don't know, doing something outdoors, because I can see it without magnification if I'm in like natural outdoor daylight lighting. And this one is, I'm using the called for, but I'm using a mix of the called for Fancy Floss and the called for DMC. And then I'm doing it 32 count. This is Grandpa's Slip by XJU Design. And I'm doing it 2/2 on 32. So I love this, and I love the colors. I was a little worried that the red wasn't variegated at all, but now that it's all the way filled in, I can definitely see some variation in that and in the blue. So it's really, really fun. This is Sky. She has, I don't think, ever made an actual appearance on my Flosstube. Some of you that I've met on like virtual retreats have seen her, but this is Sky. She has been meowing at the bottom of my chair. I actually don't think she wants to be picked up and held right now, but she also won't be quiet. So this is my cat. Yeah, we think that she's Siberian, but I adopted her. She's pretty old. I adopted her back in 2011, and she was almost a year old at that point. And so, yeah, she's kind of a granny cat, but she's very sweet, and she's tiny, teeny tiny, and she still acts like a kitten. She runs around, rolls around, all of that. So maybe she'll be a little bit quiet and let me do my Flosstube. Okay, my next whip is one that hopefully you're going to see pretty much every week. Sky is now behind the setup, so we're going to hope this doesn't get messed up too much. And there's also hair just in front of me. So this is the Sprouting Lupine Stitch Along that is in Just Cross Stitch magazine. It is Nature's Journey, and here it is. So actually I need to move my little needle minder. here it is. So that was spring, and fold it over because I've been working on the summer portion. So here is the summer portion. And yeah, there we go. There's summer. There we go. That's better. So there's summer. So I have finished I can't remember if the bird was finished at the last episode, but I finished the bird, and mostly I've been spending time on this little flower. I don't know if it's like a foxglove or what it is, but I'm doing this one. So very excited about this one. I love this. And I think several people, because Sprouting Lupine was a featured designer at Midsummer Stitch, several people hadn't seen her stuff before and have been interested in starting this piece. So it is a big one. If you haven't started it yet, it is a large piece, but it's very, very worth it. And I do love that you get to see the whole stitch before it gets to the portion. So we already know what the whole thing's going to look like, which is why I do have these like parked threads, because I know that I'm going to use them in the next section, like immediately. So that little sunflower, it just continues down into the fall section. So it's really nice. She talked a lot in her live on Midsummer Stitch about how she had kind of come up with the concept of this and all of that. And it was really interesting how she talked about like how seasons really aren't just like, even though on the calendar, one day it's spring and the next day it's summer, in reality, they kind of blend together. And so she tried to make the seasons kind of like transition in the piece. And I really, really love that. I saw that. I thought that's what she was going for. But I didn't know. So to hear that that's in fact what she did, and that she chose a different green for each season and everything, is just, it's really nice to kind of see how it's a very, very well thought out pattern. I feel like all her patterns are that way. And this is, I have cat hair on me now. This is on a 32 count cobblestone by Atomic Ranch, and I'm stitching with all the call for DMC 1 or 2/1. And those are my whips. I've really not, yeah, I feel like I say I've really not done much, but that's kind of a pile. So I don't know. Okay. I am going to do a couple more things. This is going to be a shorter episode, but that is okay with me. I wanted to get back on my midweek schedule. So I wanted to record, even though it's a little bit earlier than I normally do a full 2 weeks. I don't remember if I said that at the beginning of the episode. So, okay. So the first thing I want to show you, or the next thing I'll show you, is the next finishes that I am going to be doing for my finishing challenge. So the first one I'm going to show you because I know I want to finish it in the next 2 weeks. And then I'm going to have you vote on between the other two. So the first one that I for sure want to finish is this one right here. This is Portrait of a Unicorn with Flowers. This is from Cute Patterns by Maria. And I stitched it on a 32 count Georgia Peach by, it's that same dyer. Under the Sea Fabrics. Don't know why I can't keep the words Under the Sea Fabrics in my head today, but Under the Sea Fabrics Georgia Peach. And all the called fors, except I did switch out the French knots in the Flowers for Beads because I wanted some sparkle and I wanted to use up some beads. And then I also, the name was not part of the chart. I used a font on, I think it's Lord Libidian. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but there's a free font library. And you can use it for like just personal use. And so I charted that and added it. She very specifically wanted, this is for my daughter, she very specifically wanted her name in cursive. Because cursive is fancy. So I'm really excited about this. I finished this in March when I was at the Stitching Bee retreat. And I really want to get this up in her bedroom. I think she's kind of forgotten about it because usually she asks me about pieces that are for her. So I think she's kind of forgotten about it. So I'd love to get it stitched or get it framed and then give it to her and she'd be surprised. So this is going to go up in her bedroom and I definitely want to get that done as soon as possible. I am pretty sure I have a frame that will fit this. So I'm going to look through my frames and frame it. And if I don't have a frame, then I will order or purchase one as soon as possible, because this thing needs to go up on the wall. My frame stuff that I have frames for, it's obnoxious at this point that I haven't put it up because I've got all the stuff. I do have one frame that needs painting, so that's sort of understandable. Okay, my next two pieces, I would like for you to vote on which one you think I should finish. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to work on it before I film the next episode, so it'll probably be like, I'll try to keep an eye on the comments, and after the first like week or so after this goes up, then I will decide. So if you know, but please comment below, because I'm interested to know, regardless of when you see this, which one you think I should finish first. But especially if you're watching this video right away, certainly comment so I know which one I should finish. So these are the two. The first one is Hedgehog and Hyacinth, or if it's Hyacinth and Hedgehog. This is by the Blue Flower. This was a market release a couple years ago, and I did a conversion of my own. This is a 36 count fox and rabbit in something. I cannot remember what it's called now. It's a purple shade, and it's like a sea. It's like a shell or something like that. Anyway, this is what it is. And it's 2/2. And yeah, so it's so cute. I really, really like it. And I'm going to finish this one as a pillow. And I have some trim I'm thinking about using. And then this one, I'm also thinking about finishing as a pillow. And this is Whale's Journey. And this is by Mama Witch X Stitch. And this one I'm also going to finish as a pillow. And I have some trim that I'm thinking about doing for it. So I would love to know. And this is on a 32 count Witch Elt Pearl Gray or something like that. 2/2 with the call for DMC. And this one I did a conversion on. Yeah, using mostly color and cotton. So, which one do you think I should finish first as a pillow? The Hyacinth and Hedgehog or Whale's Journey? And if you have thoughts on like finishing on them, I think I am going to do pillows, but if you have any alternate ideas, I would also love to hear them. Okay. So those are the finishes. I definitely want to hear from you on what you think I should do. So next is I'm going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to do a little bit of a bigger-ish giveaway than I've done in my last couple episodes, because it is my 2-year Flossversary. So very exciting. So I've got a pattern, and then I've got a scissor fob for you guys. So this is the pattern. It is called Bushland Quaker, and this is from Mojo Stitches. I think this is a gorgeous pattern. I am giving this away, and you will also get a copy, or not a copy. So you get a copy of this, and then you will also get, this was made by me. This is a scissor fob. And I felt like with the flowers that these kind of went all together. So I thought that was nice. So you'll get a scissor fob and a pattern, and I am willing to ship this wherever. It will come in this will fit in like one of those half size. I'll put it in a padded envelope because it's got this, breakable stuff. So yes, please use the word Quaker if you would like to win this. And you can like be creative and use it in like a sentence, or you can just put the word Quaker. I don't care. But yeah, use the word Quaker. And if you want to win this little set, and of course be a subscriber because I want to thank my subscribers who've been with me. And please be over the age of 18 so that you can give me your address, all that stuff. And don't use the words like comment, win, giveaway, you know, all that attracts trolls. So you guys know how it works. All right. So, but yes, please comment if you want to win this. I wish I could do more to say thank you to all of you for being here and being with me, especially those of you who've been here for 2 years. I know probably the first few episodes are a little bit rough. I know my first episode, I didn't even know how to like add in a picture of the chart. So everyone's like, what do these charts look like? And I'm like, I don't know how to show you. So I feel like I've come a long way. So hopefully, I do want to show you a little bit of haul. It's a digital haul, so I'll just put pictures up or something. And I wanted to announce a new stitch along. So last time I mentioned I was interested in doing a moth along, and a few people were interested in that. And then Rosanna from Bright and Dusty, she said, I'm interested, just let me know when. So we chatted a little bit on Instagram, and we are hosting a moth along. It's me hashtag moth along. And it is going to start on August 20th. I'm very bad at dates. August 20th. So if you want to start a moth pattern or just stitch an existing moth pattern, doesn't matter. It's open-ended. We didn't discuss about whips counting, but I don't think she'll mind me saying whips count because you know, I think it's just I want to see your moths. So yes, moth patterns, whatever moth you have, stitch on it with us. So please join us and share your progress. Tag us on Instagram because the hashtags don't really work anymore. Use the hashtag, but please tag us so we can actually be assured that we will see your pattern or your progress, because sometimes the hashtags just are not great anymore. So yes, I'm going to show you some haul because I'm going to be starting at least one of these patterns for the moth along. So I bought these both at the Midsummer Stitch. I did also get a physical item, which is, you know, in transit. So the first one I got is called Verdant Reverie, and it is by Sprouting Lupine. And let me see if I can just, yeah, so there you go. You can kind of see what it looks like there. And it is gorgeous. So it's got this bell pull and it's got this smaller hoop finish. I'm going to actually do the hoop finish, but I'm going to do it on the more bell pull style fabric because I don't want to do, I love that bell pull, but I don't want to do, I can't take on that big of a project at this moment because I need to get some finishes. So I'm going to do the smaller one. And then I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it in the dark fabric because I love, love, love that dark fabric. So for sure, Verdant Reverie is probably going to happen. And then the other one I picked up is Dark Forest by Tiny Modernist. These sadly, I mean, not sadly, but they are exclusives to the Midsummer Stitch. So if you didn't buy them at Midsummer Stitch, you won't be able to get them probably for about a year. Is usually the rule on those. So this is Dark Forest. It's by Tiny Modernist. And this one, I really actually cannot decide if I want to do the strawberry or the framed bigger finish. I love that strawberry. I love strawberries. I haven't done a strawberry. I've started some strawberries, but I haven't finished a strawberry yet. But I do love that. I just love the little, like, those flowers. Kind of the bell flowers, whatever they are. I don't know. I haven't decided, but love that one. I had to pick that up. And then my physical item is in transit. So I'll show you that when it comes in. So I'm probably going to be starting one or both of those for the moth along. And then we'll see if I start any other patterns as well. But definitely if you were at Midsummer Stitch, I think every pattern had some type of a moth thing on it. And so you probably have a pattern if you bought one that would work. So think about starting it with us for a moth along. So yeah, let me know if you're going to be joining us, if you've got a moth pattern that you would like to do. So it'd be a great time to pull it out. So, okay, that is everything that I have got. Again, a little bit shorter of an episode for you, but I'm okay with that. So I hope that you all have a great next couple weeks, and I hope that you get lots of crafting time.